this realtor was serving a Spanish serving client, and there's probably a language barrier there. So they're just using our tool to assist them through the transaction process.
If you are in one of those cities where you see a lot of international or global buyers, they often don't speak your language. The more inclusive we become, the more opportunities that present itself. What's going on, world? And as you know, I like to get out here in these streets, and we were just having a discussion about the cold weather, the difference between Ottawa and the south side of the city of Chicago. But in my travels, we did not meet in Canada. We actually met at the NAR Next Leadership Program. And I saw Curtis sitting over to my right as the NARLA group. There were two different groups that presented their capstone projects. And one of them I consulted with. And they actually introduced me to Curtis Sakalo and his company, VoiceFlip. What's going on today, Curtis?
Oh, not very much, just looking forward to the weekend, Marky.
Looking forward to the weekend. Now, how did you get involved with the National Association of Realtors Leadership Academy?
Yeah, so PJ, who was the part of the NARLA group, we kind of had a happy collision, I suppose. We were at the T3 Summit in Scottsdale, and we got paired to golf together. And so we spent about 6 hours just chatting and golfing. And I think at the end of that 6 hours, they finally mentioned what I did in our product. And she's like, oh, wow, we got to get you on this project we're working on.
And you know what? When I saw the project that they were working on, instantly, I did believe that your product was a better fit than the product in which I recommended to them. And tell people, what is VoiceFlip?
Yeah, so VoiceFlip, we're basically a voice technology company. Our goal is to make data accessible. And we build products using a company's internal data sets. So the product you saw at the NARLA group presented, and the product that we've been selling recently is called Artie. It's a member support tool. So we use an association, the MLS's or brokers' internal data so that they can support their members through multiple channels. So text messaging, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, you can phone into it, and then there's a web interface. And then it also works in 25 different languages.
So 25 different languages, but we're going to break all this down. The first thing that definitely comes to mind for me is the 25 different languages. With me coming from the city of Chicago, we've definitely seen a change in the landscape of the city of Chicago. A lot of communities have gone from English speaking to Spanish speaking overnight. It's one of the reasons that I even have Meta glasses, because they actually translate for me. But when we talk about the 25 different languages that you have the ability to translate, what needs to be translated for agents that they never thought about?
It's interesting the way people want to use that tool. It's something I just always thought it was a cool idea to be able to access information all these languages. So we built it into the product. And as we launched this product, people have been using it in different ways. You have native Mandarin speakers just asking questions of their associations in Mandarin and getting responses back. And when all the content's only in English, obviously. And that's a very empowering feeling. Associations and MLSs are all trying to show that their value, I guess, nowadays, let's say. And that's a very empowering feeling for someone who speaks a different language as a mother tongue besides English, right? But we've had, the other day I saw a question come through from someone up in northern New York. They're in our system. They're texting in and saying, hey, can you explain the value of a home inspection, but explain it in Spanish for me? Can you explain, how the value of having a lawyer review the transactions, blah, 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 but explain it in Spanish? Can you explain the process of buying a home for me, but explain it in Spanish? So this realtor was serving a Spanish serving client, obviously, and there's probably a language barrier there. So they're just using our tool to, kind of assist them through the transaction process and, explain things better. It's a very human, very empathetic, very human interaction, but using AI as kind of to help them around. Really cool.
So what I'm loving is coming back to the value add, and value add has been a hot term. In the year of 2024, due to the Department of Justice and the National Association of Realtors lawsuit, because now we have to get a signed buyer representation agreement with an offer of compensation, which means we need to be able to articulate and differentiate ourselves from our competitors. With that being said, if you are in one of those cities where you see a lot of international or global buyers, they often don't speak your language. And so for the association, even for the agent, you just stated for Q&A, right? You could actually have this file and build out the Q&A on your website to be in multiple languages. But now you're talking about every single form, every single step of the transaction, whether or the ability, right, to communicate every single form when getting the buyer representation agreement signed, when submitting an offer with a lead-based paint disclosure, with a mold disclosure and radon to translate it to whoever it is that you're working with in your office. So now essentially every real estate office can be bilingual.
Yeah, or whatever 25 lingual is.
Whatever the 25, whatever the 25 different languages are. And so on a association website or a real estate agent's website, is this acting as a bot? Is it embedded code? How do they implement this every single day in their businesses?
Yeah, it's very simple. So on the website, it's just a JavaScript file. We plug it into your site. It takes about 30 seconds maybe. And then you're off to the races. The text messaging, the WhatsApp, the Facebook Messenger, and phoning it is obviously for people when they're on the go, for agents when they're on the go. So if they're at a showing and they quickly want to ask a question about something, you just text the response back super quick. It's just it's a tool that we sell to associations, but it basically empowers agents.
So it empowers agents. I was on your website taking a look at a couple of things, and you talked about lead generation, boosting engagement, and lead generation. When I think about lead generation, I just know it's something that I have to do every single day. And I know exactly how many contacts I need to add to my customer relationship management system in order to earn the amount of money I want to earn. But how is VoiceFlip being leveraged to boost engagement and lead generation?
Yeah, so one of the tools we have is like a home search agent or assistant for websites. We use that to do lead generation. So when someone comes, they ask questions about, hey, I'm looking for some homes in this area, and say in Chicago, a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home, but I want it to be near a park, near a daycare, maybe 25 minutes from the airport because I travel a lot. And that type of thing. So when people use a voice operated assistant, they tend to give a lot more information to the assistant than the normally would just typing, because you just say whatever comes to your mind, right? And you really narrow down the details. So you get a nice, beautiful view of their actual lifestyle and who they are, as opposed to just 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, $500,000. And that really helps engage. When you go contact that lead, you know quite a bit about them. It really feels personal afterwards.
And you know what? On my computer, using ChatGPT, I actually have a voice, audio to text browser extension. And what I've realized, my prompts have become substantially better because I am willing to give it more details talking than if I was ever going to type. And so what I would encourage to any real estate agent is that you want to, if you're an Apple user, you already have it built in. I'm an Android user. So on my mobile device, I also have the Google Voice keyboard so that if I'm on my computer and or on my mobile device, that I can always do audio to text. And I often do audio to text, text to image, audio to text, text to image, image to picture, right? Because you're going to give more details when you speak versus anytime you are willing to type. So what are some other ways you're seeing real estate associations provide value to its members, seeing that when I think about the Chicago Association of Realtors, we have over 17,000 members in multiple counties, but we're touching the 77 communities that make up the city of Chicago. So as a member of that association, thinking about the 17,000 plus members, thinking about the span of the city of Chicago and the 77 communities, how can my association implement this tool in order to service its members better?
Yeah, it's honestly very easy. Our onboarding process, it takes about a week. We just need their data. And then we give them a phone number. We connect with their Facebook group, works with WhatsApp. And that is pretty much it. We make it very easy. It's a white glove service. We took about 6 years to build this service out. So we put a lot into the onboarding process because no one wants to, take 4 or 5 months to onboard a new software product or learning a new software product. So that's why we use all these communication channels that everyone already knows how to use, right? Honestly, it's a very easy process. We walk you through it. We have a collaborative onboarding approach. So we work together, business cases and everything with the association's MLSs. We figure out what data they need to give us. We verify the data is correct, and then we're off to the races.
On your site, you talk about harnessing the power of AI for data analysis. So I'm, as a real estate agent, thinking about that consumer, I want to ask a question before that.
Sure.
Now, I don't use WhatsApp. So tell me, what's the role that WhatsApp plays in this? So there are two things that I have refused up until now to use. Well, there's a couple of things I haven't, I'm not on board with using. I haven't used WhatsApp, and I don't have Cash App. Those are just kind of like my two don't do.
Yeah.
But tell me the role that it plays, because now I'm thinking, do I need to get WhatsApp? Tell me.
You probably don't. WhatsApp is just a preferred communication channel. It's like text messaging, right? It's just an instant messaging platform, but it's a preferred communication channel for people from South America, Central America, and Europe generally. Right? So those people, when they come to the US, they come realtors, whatever it is, or they're looking for homes, they'll try to use that communication channel more than text messaging. Here, we always use text messaging in North America, but everywhere else, it's WhatsApp. Yeah.
Okay, so then that would also play into the 25 different languages.
100%, yeah. So each one of the communication channels we have speaks 25 languages. So even if you text in a question, say, hey, tell me about the buyer, new buyer agreement rules, but tell me in Mandarin, it'll come back and tell you in Mandarin.
I'm loving that. Now, going back to the data analyst question, what type of data is it analyzing?
A lot. So whatever the association wants to give us. So, sign ordinances, flood zones. Hey, is this, 123 Main Street? Is it in a flood zone? Like, I really need to know right now. Please tell me. Things like really easy things like courses, what the courses do, how much credits you get for them, how much they cost, all that fun stuff. Zoning regulations, rental regulations, recent market data. What's the average price of homes in this neighborhood? Really,
yeah.
We're only limited by the amount of data that the association gives us.
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not even scratching the surface, right? Because every time you tell me a different possibility, I think of how I haven't thought about it. Like, it's like I'm only thinking about the things that I say out loud, not about the 1 million plus other things that it could do. Because now I'm thinking in the city of Chicago, in Cook County, our taxes are paid 1 year in arrears. This is something that people might not understand. So we pay our taxes 1 year in arrears. The commissioner for the City of Chicago Housing Department came to meet with the board of directors of the Chicago Association of Realtors. She has stated that we're likely going to see an increase in notice of default due to an increase in real estate taxes. Now, the first thing that I started thinking about when she says this is that a lot of people are going to have a deficit in their escrow account due to the increase in property taxes. So the first thing I do is go articulate that to my husband. But it would actually be great if I articulated it, I guess, to VoiceFlip and shared it in the 25 different languages because it would save a lot of people. The fact that you're going to get a notice sometime in the next 12 to 18 months. It's going to say you're at a deficit. They're going to make you catch up from the arrears, remain current, and put money aside for the future. If you can restructure your budget for the next 12 to 24 months, you will be caught up. This is not a permanent payment increase, but at this short period of time, right, you have to catch up, remain current, and allocate money for the future. Now, saying it to you, most real estate professionals who speak English don't articulate it well.
Yep.
Okay. If you can articulate well, because a lot of this is, you can do audio to text, right? You can create a solution for people who speak 25 different languages.
Exactly. Yeah.
With that one little meeting that I had with the commissioner, right?
Yep.
So now I'm thinking about foreclosures and short sales. The escrow is one thing, right? But all the foreclosure and short sale information. And for me, if we go back to the Realtors Code of Ethics, Article 11, it's all about competency. Even though I want to put this out here in 25 different languages in order to attract people, it does not mean that I should serve them. It means that I should have a network of agents who speak those 25 different languages in order to refer that business to them for a referral fee. Because I know how to articulate it. What is the most unique way that you believe you've seen someone use VoiceFlip?
Oh, that's a tough one. That is a very tough question. Most unique way. Honestly, it'd probably go back to that one I mentioned earlier in the conversation where they were just having the assistant translate the text messages into Spanish so they could serve their Spanish. You know, they're very northern New York, probably no Spanish-speaking agents there anywhere around them, right? And this, I would assume at least, then they're just using the assistant just to translate basically every step of the process, every single step of the process in detail in Spanish to their client. I thought it was a really interesting way of using it. Not something that we had attended, when we first built the product, but realtors are creative people and they find creative ways of using our tool, which I think is amazing.
I would like to see how real estate associations are going to leverage this for the purpose of education. And I'm in a state that our state exam historically has been only English. With the possibilities of new licensees, because we can now translate all of our coursework, all of our continuing education work, every checklist, right? Every single disclosure.
Yep.
And if we're able to do that at our association, it also allows us to create non-due revenue generators, right? Because we can now, this is an idea for associations. Because they have a translation tool, they as an association can create workbooks that they actually sell to the public. If I was a person who was a non-realtor member, but I want access to forms and I want access to forms, how to use the forms, workbooks, all the different disclaimers and disclosures. Now, every single association can provide those forms to the public, but they can charge them, per page or per download. And they can compile it and sell them as books and do KDP, which is Kindle Print on Demand. And that's a totally hands-off project. Once you put that book into Kindle Print on Demand, which is owned by Amazon, they're going to handle shipping, every single return. It's 100% hands-off. And I can say that I have 30 publications over on Amazon, right? But the ability to be able to translate, and you know what? You just gave me an idea. I could easily take of my 30 publications, 6 are international bestsellers. I could take those publications and translate them and do exactly what the association can do to generate non-dues revenues. So with that being said, have you come up with any non-dues revenue generators since associations uh, need to create non-due revenue?
That's an interesting question. Right now, we're mostly focused on having the association serve their members better and saving money in that direction. So one of the associations we launched was their phone calls to their office have been cut down by about 50%. So they had a couple of full-time people on it before, but now those full-time people are kind of just sitting there doing whatever. So they've moved them to revenue generating positions so they can go and work on projects really generate revenue. So we're saving them money because the software is rather inexpensive compared to a human. We save them money supporting the members. It serves their members better 24/7 in 25 different languages. But then those actual employees can go do work that humans actually want to do, go generate revenue. Something you need a human creative mind for, as opposed to just answering the same question over and over on the phone, right? So that's how we're saving associations money and helping them generate more money. But we haven't actually launched any products for them to generate revenue directly.
But just the mere fact that because the association has taken a lot of its data, and I would assume most of the data that it trains its employees on, all the data, right, in order to train VoiceFlip, that one, they are able to actually be more productive.
Yep.
And because they're more productive, right? So to me, this is two ways to save and an additional way to earn. Because if they want to keep those people on, then they can put them over into a non-dues revenue generator, right? And start collecting new data in which to train VoiceFlip on, right? How to earn this additional income. Oh, I'm loving every single thing about it. But at NARLA, they actually demoed it, right? To let us know exactly how it would work. And I think that they did the demo, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it from the website?
It was, yeah, from I think the broker-facing part of the website, yeah.
The broker-facing part of the website. And they did a phenomenal job with their presentation and collaborating as a group to tell us all about VoiceFlip, which is why I'm glad that we connected, because I believe that now, especially with AI, with there being so many non-English speakers, we have to start thinking creatively about what our value add is, the articulation of it, and we can't do business the same way. But the more inclusive we become, the more opportunities that present itself, right? So is there any new rollouts that you're planning as you go into 2025 for VoiceFlip?
Yeah, we actually have quite a bit on our roadmap. I don't know if I can announce really all of it or any of it right now, but keep an eye out in the next 6 to 8 months. I think we should have quite a few new tools out there to help both associations and realtors. They go hand in hand, right? So we want to help both of them. And we're just going to make everyone's job a lot easier, I think. Let us do the grunt work, the stuff that really no one wants to do. Answer questions, and then the realtors can go out and sell homes, and associations can go and try to serve their members better.
And what I want to remind licensed real estate professionals of is that anytime you have audio, you also have text.
Yes.
And with artificial intelligence, you now have the ability to reverse engineer anything, provided you have text. So if we have text, we can create images. If we have images, we can create video. If we have text, we can create workbooks and checklists and Excel spreadsheets, provided that you have it. So the possibilities are endless from a content creation standpoint, from a lead generation standpoint, because you can now have text files from anything in which you can speak and or imagine. How would a real estate agent and or association start to do business with your company?
Honestly, just reach out. It's Curtis at VoiceFlip.com or go to VoiceFlip.com and just send us an email or fill out our contact form. We're super easy to work with. We're just a bunch of geeks who love building awesome software. And, yeah, super easy.
And let everybody know that's Curtis with a K. Okay.
Oh, yes.
That's Curtis with a K over at VoiceClip. And it is CLIP because I know that we have all of these new spellings, but that's Curtis with a K and VoiceClip, VoiceClip. That's .com, isn't it?
.com, yeah.
.com, because we rolling out .AIs left and right, but .com. Curtis, I want to thank you for being here to share VoiceClip with us today. It is an amazing tool. NARLA case study capstone was excellent, and I'm looking forward to working and seeing what you have coming out over the next couple of months that will enhance all realtors. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marky. Pleasure.